he's someone you want on your team. Now, about me, who here has ever felt overwhelmed before? Maybe it's been in work, school, family, maybe a relationship. My question to you is, how did you respond? Did you get overwhelmed and just freeze up and say, okay, this is the way it is, and I'm just gonna go to sleep and I'm gonna avoid the situation? Or maybe you said, you know what, I'm gonna sell my house, I'm gonna move to Thailand. Or maybe you just held it in, said, I'm not gonna tell anyone at all, and you went with it. Maybe you complained to yourself or one other person, but you just kept enduring it. I was in that place when I was 15. My dad was abusive, my mom couldn't afford groceries anymore, and day by day I felt deeper and deeper and deeper into my depression. I had to say enough is enough, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. The power of saying enough is enough. That day I decided I couldn't live my reality anymore. I had so much pain I held inside my heart without telling a soul that I said, I'm just gonna tell the world. I'm gonna tell the world today, right now, in public, online, I'm gonna tell everyone what I've been holding in my heart. So this is at the time, if you've seen the YouTube trend, when a lot of the teenagers would get index cards. And they'd write their story on index cards, and they'd press record, and they'd be silent the whole video, but one by one the index card would go and you'd be drawn into the video. Well, I hopped on this trend. I wrote out my whole story, cried while I was writing it, and I just pressed record, and on the first try, I pressed publish, I put it on Facebook, and that was it. 1,000 people on my Facebook immediately had access to something I had never told a soul. You'd think it was overwhelming, but I was already so overwhelmed in life, I couldn't bear another minute holding things in, and it actually gave me a huge wave of release. I felt amazing. Yeah, there were some comments and people coming to me, oh my God, I wish I knew what you were going through, I would have been there to talk to you and help you. But things were okay. From that moment on, I was fine, I was human again, I could be myself. I got a job, I found a love for leadership, I got promoted twice, things are going great. We had a new hire, and for the purpose of this video, I'll call her Lisa. And one day Lisa comes up to me in the office, about 2 weeks after she's hired, and she says, I think we've met before, I think I know you. No, Lisa, you just started 2 weeks ago. We went to different high schools, there's no way. She said, no, we've met before. She was certain, and I said, look, I'm really good with faces and names, never met. She said, did you post a YouTube video like a year ago by any chance? You could imagine that my stomach dropped in that moment. Because not only was this girl a coworker, but I was her boss. And now at that moment, I realized this girl knew everything about my life. She knew about the trauma in my past. She knew about my psychological evaluations. Like, this girl knew everything. Things you don't want your employees to know. But I said, yes, I did. You got me? She said, did you know that in my high school, all of the counselors chose a day and in the homeroom class showed your video? I didn't even know how to react. I said, what? You're crazy. She said, no, really. For one day in the homeroom hour, which is usually either right before or right after lunch, they showed your video to all the students, and they were teaching the students how important it is to tell people what you're going through. And in that moment, I said, there's no way that many people saw it. I went back and looked at the video. I was living in a town of about 35,000 people, middle of nowhere, Georgia. 12,000 people had seen that video. That's a lot, especially for that small town. So she went on to tell me about how that affected her. I became the first person in her life that she told her story to, and she was still going through it. She was going through a lot, actually, and it was because of that video that she felt the confidence to come up to me and tell me what she was going through. I helped her get to a guidance counselor and share her story with someone else. I helped her get the police officers involved, and she was able to get out of a really bad situation. And it was in that moment that I learned the impact my voice can have. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm terrified of speaking. I am. But it would be selfish of me not to share my story. My hope today is that maybe it's your turn to say enough is enough. Maybe it's your turn to share your story. Maybe you know someone who's going through something right now that needs to share their story with someone else. And I want to encourage you right now to do that, or tell that friend, hey, share your story, tell people what you're going through, because you don't know the impact that can have. I saw the impact I had with one person, and that was one view out of 12,000. I have the comments I can go back to and look at those videos, but at the end of the day, I'll never really know. All I know is it did have an impact, and if it was just that one person, that means the world to me. So, thank you.
So Tiffany, I want you to